Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Research Analyst Talk with myself, Jerome Wendt, and Ken Clipperton and Todd Dorsey, all from DCIG. This week, again, we're just going to share a few thoughts that we've had about our different research. I'm actually just going to turn it over to Todd Dorsey this week, and he's going to kick us off. Todd?
So I'm currently working on researching HCI solutions in the marketplace. I had mentioned on an earlier video recording that there are nearly 50 vendors across the world that have hardware and software offerings. Some just do software, some do hardware and software, some mainly focus on hardware and then align their products to popular HCI software vendors. Just an observation, that is some of the differences between HCI vendors located here in the United States versus those that are abroad, especially as it relates to technical support. For businesses and enterprises located here in the United States and looking for HCI solutions, especially for those solutions that are based here in the United States, companies are much more prominent about explaining the features and functions and benefits of the various technical support offerings. They're much richer, both from a reactive and proactive standpoint. Many of the vendors, though, overseas, it is very difficult to see sometimes what those vendors offer, what technical support capabilities they offer beyond a portal or phone mail or phone number or email. So definitely some differences there that we here in the United States enjoy from technical support for HCI products. So that's my observation and insights for the week. Ken, I guess turn it over to you in terms of what you've been working on.
Great, thanks, Todd. Well, I've been working on a report on high-end storage arrays. And as I reviewed the research in terms of formulating the report, a couple things stood out to me, like comparing 2 years ago to today. And one of those is 2 years ago, there was some conversation about what we today would talk about as cyber resilience, but very little. Since that time, every vendor has made pretty substantial investments in beefing up their cyber resilience capabilities. There's some commonalities across that. Almost all talk about immutable snapshots and such, but there are significant differences in how they're implementing, at least at this point. A couple things that I thought were interesting. Jerome recently had an instant rant on instant recovery, and he was dealing with purpose-built backup appliances and how in many cases it's anything but instant. But I was looking at Infinidat, for example, on their arrays. Now they pre-configure them with a secure vault that it's a technology they call it InfiniSafe, and they talk about recovering a petabyte of snapshot data in 30 seconds. That approaches instant recovery, I would say.
I would agree, especially at that level.
Yeah, and exactly right. And they actually also now they pre-configure another chunk of the array capacity as a target for the backups, and they have significant, like, petabyte per minute recovery from that larger vault, kind of like a purpose-built backup appliance built into your enterprise storage array, your primary storage array. And the users can change that, but I thought something else they did that was smart is they've got best practices about how they believe optimally you ought to set this up. They pre-configure the arrays that way before they ship them.
Wow.
So it's not, oh, I should set up this InfiniSafe thing or whatever. No, it's already set up for you. Now, the customer can wipe that out. They can undo it. But I just thought was really smart in terms of rapid deployment, fast time to value kind of thing. But the dealing with cyber resilience, another area that's different is just how they're using what we today are calling AI ops, applying artificial intelligence. Some of the arrays do have embedded AI processing on the arrays, and so they can do dynamically some things that others can't. One of the vendors that we looked at is Huawei, and what they're doing is on file data, not block data, but on file data, they have a threefold mechanism. So let's see, one of them they call ransomware file interception. So it intercepts writes of files that are infected by known ransomware. So again, that's kind of using, okay, we know ransomware encrypts the files and then saves them with this extension on it. Well, it has a little database of that known ransomware stuff. And the first time it sees ransomware try to write a file with that extension, it blocks it from being written. And it says, I'm under attack that successfully made it through the other things. So I'm going to do a secure snapshot of the file system right now. So that's one phase. It does another phase where it uses on-array AI to do real-time ransomware detection, where every time it does a snapshot, it compares that file system snapshot with what it believes was a known good copy. And if things look wonky or suspicious, then it flags that new snapshot as suspicious, and also marks the previous snapshot as, immutable. Don't mess with me, kind of thing. That's smart. And then the third level is actually I just described the third level. Comparing new snapshots with the secure snapshots and marking that as abnormal. The otherwise it analyzes file IO logs. And if it sees unusual activity, it alerts on that, and also does a secure snapshot right away. So the idea is to minimize how much ransomware can get, how far it can get into your storage before getting interrupted. And then of course it has notifications and stuff. So, that's I thought an interesting way of applying AI to enhance the cyber protection and resiliency of the solutions. And there's a bunch more, but so there's, again, commonalities, but then divergence of capability based on what the vendor sees as a priority and what they're hearing back from their clients. But happily, some progress at least on limiting the impact that ransomware is likely to have on an organization, whether through super fast recoveries or by limiting the amount of damage that can be done before it's dealt with. So
very cool.
That's it. So again, there are a bunch of other things that are pretty interesting, I think, but I'm a storage geek, right? So anyway, that's it for today, and hope you'll find this interesting as we do, and we'll look forward to hopefully having you tune in another day to learn what DCIG analysts are up to. Thank you.